What is up, you guys? Marty McFly coming at you, bringing you guys the merch. Sorry if I look like absolute ass today. It's been a long day at work, and I mean, it's been good though. We started a new job, the next leg of the journey. For those of you who are in the medical field, I'm in something called a Pulmonary and Critical Care Fellowship. Long hours, long days, but incredible medicine. We really get to do some amazing things for some amazing people. Very grateful to have this opportunity. It does keep me busy. It adds a couple extra gray hairs and a lot more bags underneath the eyes, as you can clearly see, but it's been good. The move has been brutal. It has been an absolutely terrible move into my new place with my new apartment. Oh my god, I got a drug-dealing neighbor, even though I'm in the nice part of town. I got a drug-dealing neighbor that beats her kids on the reg. That's fun. They're huge potheads, and unfortunately all their THC smoke somehow bleeds into my apartment, so can't wait to move out of here and maybe start looking for a house. However, in case you haven't realized lately, the housing market absolutely sucks, so it's tough to find a place right now, but really grateful for the opportunity, really grateful for the fellowship. It's busy, like I said, it's intense work, definitely ages you prematurely, but really glad to have that opportunity. Maybe that's something we can talk about in the future regarding career and the long journey that we've been on for such a long time, but it's been good. I really am happy with where I'm at. So let's talk about heavy metal news. I don't even want to talk about like new merch. I mean, there's so much new merch that we've gotten since the last time we talked together, but oh my word, the heavy metal world is just blessing us with just endless things. The first and foremost, I am so happy and proud of GOJIRA, however you want to say it. You know, Godzilla from France, let's call it that way, but one of the biggest, groove heavy metal bands, very successful, sold out arenas all over the world. They just did a massive tour with Mastodon and Lorna Shore. I am so happy and so proud of them for opening up the Olympics. I tried posting a video, but the good old YT decided to shut that video down, so I unfortunately have to rely on someone else. Now, if only Kelly Clarkson would shut up, we could actually hear more of GOJIRA actually playing. But oh my goodness, GOJIRA opening the Olympics was like a wonderful, shining, beautiful moment for the heavy metal community. I am so happy and so proud of them. Oh my god, I had the biggest goosebumps. Hair was raising up on the back of my neck. I'm sitting on the couch after a workout, pre-workout still cranking through my veins, and this comes on, and oh my god, I was just blown away. I think everyone on YouTube kind of agrees. To watch GOJIRA do this opening, you got the headless Marie Antoinettes everywhere, and oh my god, and then them playing that song, doing a heavy metal version of that song with the opera singer also kind of adding in like that dual effect. Absolutely incredible. If you have not watched it, please go watch GOJIRA opening the Olympics and try to forget that Kelly Clarkson and all those people are talking halfway through it. But absolutely incredible. So, I mean, I'm still like ear to ear. I'm still happy. It's still for the heavy metal community, for GOJIRA, it's a huge day for all of us. And maybe some people don't really understand what that means for everybody, but it really does give this different beacon to heavy metal. Of course, they pick like the French Revolution and the beheading and the guillotine and Marie Antoinette. They bring in that story, and it is very fitting to put in a heavy metal band into those shoes. Just unreal. So that's news number one. News number two, I can't believe I'm saying this because, we've been waiting for this for, years. And I think we're at the moment where OPETH finally decided to bring in screams and growls into their music. We have growls from OPETH before we have GTA 6. Let's just put it that way, okay? Oh my gosh, whoa! Their new track just released today. It's, I always forget the name. Forgive me, I forget the name of the symbols, but if you read a lot of literature, English literature, if you read, like, any of the books nowadays where they have to put little emblems at the bottom to signify what part of the page you're on, what they're describing. So if you read, oh my gosh, if you read any Penguin paperbacks about Dracula, Frankenstein, anything. Oh my God, any books like that, any of the classics, you're gonna see that. And it's got the little symbol. I think it's just S1. That's essentially just what it is. But I mean, I probably should have researched that before I put out this video. But sorry, guys. I will put up another video apologizing and then explaining what the symbol means and the origins and all of that good stuff. Anyway, so if you, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say, if you ever read, any of the Irish literature, any Irish author, like James Joyce, you read any of those books, and you read any of the more annotated versions of those books, like Ulysses and the Dubliners, you're going to see where they make those little annotations. Anyway, it's called S1. I'm a 5-1 almost. Anyway, go check out the new Opeth song. It's classic Opeth. It's really a very progressive. It's all over the place, but we have growls, and that is the most important part of this song. It's actually a very good song. I'm very happy to see Opeth is back and we have growls and screams again. Again, another big win for the heavy metal community. I think we've been waiting for Opeth to do that forever. By the way, Becoming the Archetype shirt. This is back from their Dichotomy days. God, that goes back a long way. So I was a freshman in college. Oh God, I'm old. Anyway, I was a freshman in college when this came out, and I still remember driving home that weekend. Becoming the Archetype was playing very small venues, and they decided to play at this youth Christian group venue. It was just, yeah, I mean, it was Count Seth and Jason. Yeah, that was it. It was just the two of them. They played acoustic songs of a bunch of their, which, their songs are pretty growly and screamy, but they played a bunch of acoustic stuff on the stage. They signed everybody's stuff. I got the signed poster, I got the CD, and I got the t-shirt of Dichotomy. So, to show you how old this is, when that came out, we're talking like the 08-09 era of Becoming the Archetype. And by the way, their last record absolutely smashes everything. So if you haven't played that yet, go to Solid State Records, go to your Spotify, go to YouTube, whatever. Go play the last Becoming the Archetype album. It's incredible. But yeah, so the new Opeth song, we're going to get a new record. It comes out October 11th of this year. We have growls and screams before we have GTA 6. Really, just another big W for the heavy metal community. What else is new? We have a new Arch Enemy song which just came out. Also, fantastic. And, it's really weird because there's a lot of drama llama in this band. There always is. But Jeff Loomis is no longer an Arch Enemy, which I think is really disappointing. But, however, I feel like he was being held back. Because you're talking about Jeff Loomis from Nevermore and Sanctuary. I mean, one of the greatest musicians and guitar players in heavy metal, and I really feel like he didn't get to do what he wanted to do. He didn't get to show off, let's put it that way. I know Arch Enemy isn't exactly a showy-offy band, and they were really comfortable on their last record. They just sat back and played groove metal. I can't even call the last album death metal. I mean, we had some clean vocals from Melissa White Glutes, the Blue-Haired Wonder. And, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the clean vocals. I thought it was an interesting thing to add to Arch Enemy. It's not the first time we've had cleans. If you go back to Arch Enemy before Angela Gosso was in the band, we had male clean vocals in a couple of those songs. So, it's not the first time we're seeing this. But, however, I do think that the new song, and I really wish Jeff Loomis could have been a part of it, because I feel like this is the type of music we wanted to play. We have blast beats, ladies and gentlemen. When's the last freaking time we had a blast beat in Arch Enemy? Probably when they were on Summer Slaughter, a couple years back ago, when Summer Slaughter didn't suck. I mean, and I feel bad saying that because the new Summer Slaughter tour, I like those bands. I think everybody was expecting Necrophagist to be headlining this show. And Summer Slaughter is not Summer Slaughter anymore, but they needed to keep the tagline to make money. Of course, they skipped Florida. That's just where we're at. Summer Slaughter is just... Well, we're not going to play Florida anymore. We're not going to play in Tampa, Florida, which is the death metal capital, of the country. So, anyways, it's a bummer. It really is. But Summer Slaughter is not Summer Slaughter. The same way Mayhem Festival is... Sorry about that, guys. But, Summer Slaughter just... It's not Summer Slaughter the way it used to be. I know I'm sounding old. Forgive me. But Summer Slaughter now is not really Summer Slaughter. I mean, I like the bands that are on there. I like Gideon. Those guys are fantastic. If you listen back to their old stuff when they were still like very much a Christian hardcore band, now very in the metalcore realm, a lot of Kublai Khan influence, a lot of Terror influence, which is great. They're great guys. It's a great band, but this, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I've seen Veil of Maya like 4 or 5 times because they're on every tour, and they have never sounded good live. I feel so bad saying that because I enjoy some of their music, but Veil of Maya live is just not good. It's not a good sound. I don't know why, after so many records and so many years of being able to like produce their sound, the Degent sound for them just doesn't sound good live. You listen to them and you really don't get any bass. Can hardly hear your vocalist. I mean, you got the nine string drop tune guitars, and I just don't think Veil of Maya has really ever sounded great. And they were on Summer Slaughter a couple years back, and I was like, all right. I mean, I really like their music on CD. It just doesn't translate to a good live sound, which is really unfortunate. But this, Brand of Sacrifice is awesome. I think we were all hoping that Gatecreeper would have been on this, but Gatecreeper is on their own massive tour this year, and I will be going to that before I go to Summer Slaughter, let's put it that way. I love the bands that are on Summer Slaughter, don't get me wrong. They're all fantastic bands, but I think we were all hoping it was going to be Cannibal Corpse and Necrophagist. I would have taken Devil Driver, but at least put some death metal on there. I mean, what are we doing? We have some good deathcore bands on there, but I mean, we really don't have any death metal this year, and I think that's the unfortunate part, because they're like, they've been bragging about how great it's going to be for Summer Slaughter, getting our hopes up, and then, I think this could have been Thrash and Burn. If you want to resurrect the Thrash and Burn tour, and that's what this is, A+. I think that would have been excellent. As long as it's not I Wrestled the Bear Wench. Good grief. And now we got Mayhem coming back, and it's it's entrycore. I mean, I love the bands that are on Mayhem, but why are we closing the show with Terrible Omens? I don't understand. Oh god. Ugh. Anyway, Bad Omens, they have a couple good songs for what they are. I saw them close the show for O Sleeper, which I think was like a disservice to O Sleeper, because O Sleeper like completely stole the show that night. But yeah, a couple years back, O Sleeper, Bloodline, and Bad Omens were all on a tour together. Bad Omens was already starting to sell like $30 a CD. They got way big out of pocket, way out of their realm really quickly, started upcharging the crap out of everything. And it ended up being a girl show band. A bunch of girls showed up. They were pissed that everyone was trying to mosh to Bad Omens. And that instantly told me everything I needed to know about this new genre. Some people are calling it baddie core, entry core, whatever you want to call it. It's not enjoyable core. When I'm going to go see O Sleeper and they only get to play like 6 songs, and then I have to listen to 15 songs of Bad Omens. I mean, they're not a bad band. They're alright. I didn't think their live sound was all that great. They had a lot of maturing they needed to do if they wanted to translate kind of like this poppier entry core style of music. And, they're enjoyable. It's not bad. It's just not what I really wanted. I mean, I'm going to go see O Sleeper and Bloodline play, and both of them played their socks off and sounded incredible. And then, I think the problem with this next generation of bands is, like, I'm really happy that girls come to metal shows and they can feel safe and they can get their rocks off like we can. And I'm really happy to see everybody having a good time together, keeping it safe. But when people are complaining about people moshing at a metal concert because it's too violent, that's the stuff that drives me bonkers. And that was exactly what a Bad Omen show was like. A bunch of girls complaining that everybody was moshing. Like, bruh, it's a heavy metal show. We want to mosh. We want to get it out of our system, because then the rest of us have to go back to our freaking job the next day. So yeah, we want to get it out. And I think that's what we're dealing with right now in that scene. Anyway, Mayhem, a lot of good bands, a lot of returning bands to Mayhem Festival that I used to see in Ozfest. And now if you look at Ozfest traditionally, there's a lot of those bands that they were so diverse and spread out, totally out of pocket, and it did great because Ozfest, everybody came together. I mean, Ozfest, we had Linkin Park, we had Limp Bizkit, we had Korn, we had Shell's Fall, In Flames. God forbid, it dies today. Oh my goodness. 2005, 2004, both amazing years. 2006 was incredible because you had All That Remains. Sabbath and Black Label Society, Lamb of God. Those are the days. Killswitch Engage, Rob Zombie, the list goes on. Absolutely incredible years for Ozfest, and they played a really diverse portfolio sometimes, which I think Mayhem can get away with. But Bad Omens, we couldn't think of anybody bigger to play one show. Anyway, there's the news for that. So what do we got? I mean, we got GOJIRA opening the Olympics. This is like the first time in the Olympics we're seeing a heavy metal band open the freaking Olympics. Oh, God. We have a new song from Opeth with growls and screams in it. We got a new archenemy. The new archenemy kicks ass. And I really feel bad because Jeff Loomis isn't in the band and he's an amazing musician. But we have blast beats, ladies and gentlemen. The new archenemy sounds like a Doomsday Machine song. And I've been waiting for a very long time to say that. Let's just put it that way. I mean, I would love to hear a Black Earth era again. I think everybody would. But to hear a Doomsday Machine era archenemy, we've been waiting for this for years. So I can't wait to see, and they didn't go heavy on the cleans, they didn't go heavy on the melody. It's a screaming melody, which I'm totally okay with. Alyssa White Glutes sounds fantastic. The whole band sounds great. Lead guitars, everything, lead guitars are perfect. And I really wish Jeff Loomis was in the band for this. But you know what? Jeff Loomis can find a job anywhere. I'm really looking forward to see what he does next. So that's some heavy metal news for right now. By the way, All That Remains just released another banger, and it's a classic metalcore, screamy love song, and I can't get enough of it. I played it 1,000 times already. Same thing goes for the newest As I Lay Dying song. So the bassist and clean singer for Miss May I is now doing cleans and bass for As I Lay Dying, and he sounds perfect. I feel like all of his effort went into I feel bad saying this. I feel like all of his effort went into the newest As I Lay Dying songs as opposed to the last Miss May I record. We didn't hear much out of him, and I feel like his melodies weren't that shaped. The melodies weren't that catchy or memorable, with the exception of like 3 or 4 songs. The last Miss May I album was, I would rank it, mid, but the 2 albums that came out before that were both incredible. I mean, it's weird how we went from 2 of arguably, the first 2 records for Miss May I are going to go down as their best of all time. I would say the last 2 before this before Unconquered and all that came out, I would say the 2 that came out directly before that are probably their next best 2, because everybody hated, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the album, but everybody hated that one record where, because we have like the first 3, and then you have the first 2, you have At Heart, and then you have the one directly after that with the weird lion on it. And everybody across the board said that was their worst album. They didn't put much effort into it. They didn't put much thought into it. The melodies, there's like one good melody on like the whole record. And then they released 2 of the best records on the planet in heavy metal history. And then now we got, the newest one, which is good. It's good. It's a fun album. It's not their best, but it's fun. It's a good album. I enjoy it. They all have kids. They all have jobs. It's cool. I mean, Levi Benton can't, he's not a kid anymore either. He's got kids, he's got a job, he's like the rest of us, so he's got stuff to do. But the newest All That Remains, absolutely incredible. And then, of course, the newest As I Lay Dying, where they got the bassist and lead vocalist from Miss May I. Some of the best melodies that As I Lay Dying's ever had, and some of the just perfect song. Every song has been fantastic. Also, Tim Lambesis and I share a birthday, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing alright. I have a bunch of new videos coming out for you that I already recorded. So we're going to talk about merch, we're going to talk about Halloween, because, I got to talk about Halloween. And eventually, I want to talk about this banger right here. This is the newest from Guilt Trip. This is Severance. If you haven't heard this, play this right now. This is like Chimera reincarnate without the proggy side. This is like, oh my god, it's so freaking good. I was able to get this brand new, sealed, free shipping, because it's very expensive, all because of a bent edge. Don't care. I need it. Need to have it. It sounds incredible. And I'll talk about this in the next video, okay? But I hope you guys are doing alright there. Sorry it's been a while, but I'm really glad to be back. I hope everyone's taking care of each other. And you know what? Heavy metal, man. It's a good world to be in. It's a good time to be a metalhead. I hope you guys are doing okay. Peace.